Hello and welcome to part 1 of the Juniper Networks Automation podcast series. Just like you, I am an automation enthusiast, and over the course of our series, we'll be unraveling some of the concepts that are revolutionizing the future of networking and how they come into play to realize the vision of the self-driving network. Today we have Nitin Vig, Chief Architect from Juniper Networks, who will be sharing with us all about the SDN for the WAN. Nitin, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, let's get straight in. So, Nitin, before we get into the nitty-gritty technical details, could you give our listeners a simple explanation, as you would to a 5-year-old, which is my intellectual age, of what SDN is for the WAN?
Okay, sure. So imagine you're going to school at 7 a.m. in the morning in your yellow school bus, and your driver takes the same road every day to school.
Okay.
Now imagine if there's 50 different buses taking the same road to the same school at the same time.
All right.
What do you expect would happen?
A lot of yellow buses.
Yes, exactly. And a huge traffic jam.
Okay.
And nobody gets to school on time.
Okay.
Now, what if you had this traffic cop who's watching all of these 50 buses and he knows exactly what their schedule is going to be, and he basically instructs each and every bus driver on what route they should take so that everybody gets to school on time.
Okay.
So that's the essence of SDN for the WAN, is traffic management using a centralized traffic controller.
Yep, a 5-year-old can understand that. Okay, so SDN for the WAN is about traffic management. But how does this apply to service provider networks? Where are all these yellow buses, the bus drivers, the different roads, and who is the traffic cop, otherwise known as the centralized traffic controller?
All right, so the yellow buses are these packets that are flowing inside the network. It's all the traffic that's in the service provider network, or their customers, their services, all of that.
Okay.
And then there's these bus drivers. The bus drivers are actually the routers that are sitting in the network, making the decisions on how all of these buses need to traverse inside the network.
Okay.
The network itself, all of its physical assets, the fiber, etc., are all these different routes that these yellow buses can take.
Okay, the roads, okay.
Yes, exactly. And last but not the least is the traffic controller. So, and that's Juniper's NorthStar.
Okay.
NorthStar is Juniper's SDN controller for the WAN that helps service providers optimize the traffic in their core networks.
Okay. So say I were a service provider executive. Could you give me 2 key reasons why I should be concerned about optimizing my core network?
Yeah. So if you're a service provider exec, what you care about is essentially saving cost and increasing revenue.
And keeping my job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And those 2 things will help you do that.
That's right.
So what you want is that, with all this dynamic, unpredictable growth in the network, the way service providers today are managing this unpredictability is by throwing more network bandwidth at the problem. So they're over-provisioning their networks to be able to survive this tsunami of traffic that's coming in.
Okay.
Plus, they're also building in multiple levels of resilience inside the network to prevent network meltdowns, for example.
Okay.
So what all of this is causing is that there's up to 40 to 60% of latent bandwidth that's inside the network that's currently unutilized.
Okay.
So when you use a traffic controller like NorthStar, it helps you reclaim that lost bandwidth and to save cost.
That's great. Okay.
Yeah, and it also helps service providers increase their revenues by carving out specific network bandwidth for prioritized customers. So essentially, it's helping you save cost and increase revenue.
And keep my job.
Exactly.
All right.
And if you're a technologist, what you want to hear is that what does NorthStar bring to you as the value? So what NorthStar brings to a technologist as value is that it gives you real-time network visibility and fine-grained traffic engineering.
Okay, fantastic. So we save money and we increase revenue. That sounds like a sweet deal. Okay, but I'm sure there are other vendors who are building similar WAN SDN controllers. Now, I want to know what is the specific value that Juniper brings to the table.
Yep. At Juniper, we are always looking at how can we make the networks more autonomous and self-driving.
Okay.
And if you want to do that, one of the key things that you want is you want to get real-time information from the network.
Okay, real-time info. Okay.
Yes, exactly. And you want to be able to react to it quickly. So to achieve this level of agility, we go beyond the traditional methods to collect real-time telemetry information from the network and build feedback loops that reacts to this information.
Okay.
In addition, what we're also trying to do is to help service providers evolve their network to the newer emerging technologies like segment routing, where WAN SDN plays a very key role, and also let them cooperate their networks with the existing technologies like RSVP.
Okay.
So essentially, what Juniper and NorthStar bring to the table is flexible, fine-grained traffic engineering and real-time network visibility to the network.
Okay, so traffic engineering and network visibility.
Exactly.
Okay, Nitin, you've broken down the workings of SDN for the WAN so simply for us. We really can't thank you enough. It's been such a pleasure having you here with us today, and hopefully we'll sit down for a chat again soon.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure being here, and thank you for having me.